Cleveland Indians announced that they are changing their name to the Cleveland Guardians after the Indians' nickname was deemed racist. Why the Indians changing their name is a byproduct of our over PC culture, and why the mob won't stop with them is all coming up on the Ford File. What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the Ford File. If it's your first time here, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Be greatly appreciated. And today's case file is over the Cleveland Indians becoming the Cleveland Guardians starting next season. I personally think they should have gone with the Cleveland baseball team, because then there's no way they'd be able to offend anybody. Not even Guardians now. Guardians would now be offended. But I think they would have thought they were copying some other team. This process kind of all began with the BLM and Antifa riots last year, and everyone was getting all triggered and weirded out of a race. And then all the SJWs and the virtue signalers on Twitter were summoned, and they're like, this is my time to shine, and start complaining about stuff that doesn't even matter, because I don't have any real problems to deal with, so I just got to make some up. And their first target was the Washington Redskins, who now they don't even have a name. They're the Washington football team. And to me, they're still the Washington Redskins until they get a real name. Because imagine walking up to somebody, hey, who's your favorite NFL team? The football team. Yeah, can't relate. So, and then they went after the Indians too, and then they eventually caved. And it shows that these teams, both the Redskins and the Indians, don't really care about what their fan base thinks, because if they did, these name changes wouldn't have actually happened, because it's not the fan base who were complaining. It was just some random people on social media who, number one, aren't even fans of the team, and number two, probably don't even watch sports at all, so why do their opinions matter more than your fan base? Like, it's just crazy world we live in now, where people aren't even fans of your team, and probably not even fans of the sport, are dictating what your name should be. And if these people's goal was to get rid of racism of the characters or whatever in sports, I mean, well, a sports team's name is pretty insignificant. Like, yeah, I'm pretty sure that was the Native American community's number one priority, was going after these names and changing the Indians' name that they've had for over 100 years. That was the number one priority. If you went and asked Native Americans what they thought, most of them would not even care. Or they'd actually think it was cool that they got a professional American sports team to be named after one of their tribes or after their people. And then people will be like, oh, what about this guy? He thinks it's racist or whatever. Oh, wow, you found the one guy who actually cares. A big deal. Like, I'm sure there's more problems in the Native American community than what sports teams are being named. Native American imagery, that's representation for you. Representation of a minority community. And it's interesting that the Indians changing the name to the Guardians is like, I'm using these people's logic, these liberals' logic and leftists' logic right here. The indigenous people representation, the Indians, are being replaced with Guardians, which is white people. That's pretty interesting to me. And because if you don't know, the Guardians nickname comes from the Guardians of Transportation that are in Cleveland, and there's one outside the stadium. And you can tell by looking at them, I mean, they resemble white people. So, yeah, let's replace Native Americans with white people. Where have I heard that before? It won't stop with just the Indians and the Redskins. They've talked about going after the Chiefs and the Braves and the Blackhawks for their Native American names. And out of all 5 of those names, the only one that would be within even close to being in the realm of racist are Redskins, but even that's not even that bad. It's not even bad at all. Like, I don't know what the problem is with that. Like Indians, that's just a general term. And then chiefs, that's the leader of a tribe. I don't know how that's offensive. And by the way, the Chiefs were named after the mayor of Kansas City when the Chiefs moved to Kansas City. So, and the Braves, that's brave. That's a compliment. And Blackhawks was an actual name of a Native American tribe. So I don't know what the problem is with those team names. I mean, you tell me. When you're so woke that you want to replace all of minority imagery in professional sports and replace them with white people, even if they succeed in getting rid of all these Native American names, what's next? What's going to come after that? Is PETA going to come out and demand that all the teams with animal names change their names because they promote animal fighting, therefore animal cruelty? I mean, no one with a brain should take PETA seriously, but I mean, the people who demanding that the Indians and the Redskins change their name shouldn't be taken seriously either. But I mean, we live in clown world right now, so it wouldn't surprise me. The mob isn't gonna stop unless we push back against them. That's why you never appease the mob, because they're always gonna demand more and ask for more and demand it. That's why you never appease them, and also that's why you never apologize to the mob either, because they're not gonna accept it because they hate you. So, and you just come off looking like a wimp. So that's why you never apologize to them either. Instead, you should just laugh in their face and tell them to F off. That's how you deal with them. And if the Indians and the Redskins franchises had just told these people to F off and laugh in their face, it would have been over. Like, the mob probably, and liberal journalists probably would have complained for like a day, and then they would have just moved on to their next target, because they obviously see that they're not going to cave, so why would they keep going after them? They're just wasting time with their Marxist agenda. So if you take one thing away from this video, is to not be like the Indians and Redskins, and actually make it two. Well, number one, don't be like the Indians and Redskins and be a cuck and appease to the mob and bow to the mob. And two, remember to never appease and never apologize to the mob. That about wraps up this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel, and maybe share this video with a sports fan and to show how ridiculous this name changing is. There we go. Now you can see Drew Lock. Like, comment, subscribe. I think I already said all that. And we can call this case closed.